XRP this is still, just overall just consolidating within this range, but I do expect us to push through this range on the next move higher. Um, a, One interesting thing about this chart is that we're inside of this yellow zone. We came inside of it many times, right? We pushed in, we came out. We pushed in, we came out. Touched this, pushed back in, we didn't come out. You see that? And this time we pushed in and we're retesting the beginning of it. So that's a bullish sign. And, this is just showing that it's proof that more technical proof, these little details matter, more technical proof that, we should be pushing above this level right here. And this was a high from January 2021, well, October 2020 right here. So we should be pushing towards higher levels here. The best case scenario, I would say this specific run is that XRP BTC. And remember, this could happen in 1 quarter. This could happen in 1 month, I believe. Yeah, look, and this literally in 2017, this thing went up for 3 straight months. So look, 1 month, and this was in December. In 1 month, it literally just went all the way up here. So this could happen in literally a couple of months to where it just breaks above this high, makes a new high and then goes into a bear market. So this is why we got to be patient because we still have 4 months left in 2025 and people are tripping out. Like things are gonna happen quickly, we gotta wait for that last minute moment and then we execute. If we get to November and things are still looking like they're slowly, gradually rising, we're definitely gonna want to place some sell limit orders for December at specific fib levels. That's basically the plan. All right, XRP. So this still just lingering up here. Let's take a look at, I believe last week I said we could possibly retest this area. Well, that's exactly what it's looking like XRP is going to do. So it did just sweep this previous monthly low right here to the left. So we just swept this previous monthly low right here. This is a good thing. This is what we want to see at the beginning of a month, a sweep of the previous low to start a new monthly candle. We can possibly retest this right here. So anywhere between 250, 260 is a possibility, but that's just a higher low being created to continue this overall trend. And this is gonna be a good move because let's just say, let me do this right here. Let's just say don't hold right here, then it could get a little bit uglier to where we can come back down towards that $2 range, which has held time after time after time. But I can't see us going anywhere below here. So we just gotta wait and see how this level reacts, where the market, retests and continues. Worst case scenario, worst case, I don't see this happening, but who knows? Is that, we don't react to that and we come back down to this bigger zone and they just get some more buys from there before turning it back up. So that's just a worst case. It's not the most possible case. And that would still be valid for some upside. But to keep it real with you guys, the more that they delay this next turn up to the upside, the shorter they're making these higher targets because you definitely want to see this turn from here. If we come all the way back down here, it's just gonna take more time to push us right back up. So, they're gonna be taking away from the potential upside. And that's what we don't want to see, because we do want to see over a $20, $30 XRP. But as of right now, those are still possible. Those are still very possible. And I'm actually gonna make a post about this, because if you take a look at back in 2017, I'm gonna just go over it quickly in here, but back in 2017, it literally can take 1 month. And we still have how many months left in 2025? 4 months exactly. So, you got to look at it from that perspective. These little consolidation movements, they're designed to cause people to talk, to FUD. FUD campaigns are gonna come out, negativity. You gotta silence all that shit, all of it, because it's literally irrelevant. For those of you who I'm sure a few of you were here back in 2017, this shit was going on here too. Shit was literally going on here. People were calling for a dump, and look, this shit just kept going. And then it went to a bear market. You gotta wait for that bigger move, and it will eventually go into a bear market if a parabolic pump comes. If a parabolic pump comes, yeah, we're more than likely going into a bear market. So it's gonna be a great time to take profits off the table. All right, so this has cooled down as well. All right, monthly time frame. So August. We swept that previous monthly high. We got a retracement. So now we have this brand new monthly candle. Let's take a look at the quarterly time frame. Quarterly candle is mega bullish. I don't see this turning bearish at all. We only got 1 month left, 29 days and 8 hours left in quarter three. Monthly candle a little bit bearish, but we already know this is on a macro trend, right? A nice healthy trend. This has been one of the best performers in this market. Now let's see what can possibly happen over here. So we did end up coming back down to this area. I did mention this was a possibility last week. We were roughly like right here. We could have either turned from here or we could come back down here and hit these areas and turn. So it is looking like SHX is probably gonna find a bottom here pretty soon. We could probably just sweep this low right here, one of these lows, and turn from there. It's very difficult to pinpoint it perfectly, but that's what's looking likely from what I see right now. Of course, this is gonna, cool down after going up so much. Um, but still, I still believe that this 5 cent range is still a magnet. We're not far from it. We're not far from it. So as you can see, we're literally retesting this bigger zone right here. And in literally one weekly candle can instantly put us right back over 3 cents in 1 week. Can it be this weekly candle? Yes, it can. Can it be the next couple of weeks? Yes, it can. And with possible rate cuts, who who knows? We can easily get a nice push straight to this all-time high after the rate cuts and then start cooling down over here. And as we wait for the end of the year, and maybe we get a even crazier push to end quarter four. So this still has tons of possible upside. And that's why I'm still, in my SHX positions. Yes, I have sold very small percentages, but I still own a large percentage of my holdings because I'm personally waiting for ends up looking. So once again, we could probably just sweep these lows and see if we get a reaction from there. All right, Velo. So Velo, this has been pretty, just playing ping pong over here. So we went from this demand zone down here, then we hit this bigger supply zone up here, then we came back down to this bigger demand zone down here. We came back up to this supply zone up here. Now we're sweeping the low, and we're coming back down to this demand zone down here that we literally pushed out of last time. So price is likely gonna come down and sweep that low and see if we get a reaction from there once again. So I did see that the team, updated their tokenomics, something like that. And they're gonna start including buybacks and other features for the Velo token. So that should definitely be a positive thing for this specific asset. The price action in 2025 has definitely been disappointing after having such a great 2024. Then literally 2025 started and it has just been nothing but downside and then consolidation. As long as these levels are holding though, we're still in a decent range. It's not too bad because a 10x from here instantly puts us right here around, literally right here around 10 to 15 cents, around 10 to 14 cents. Just a 10x. Just a 10x. And remember that could happen in 1 month. In 1 month. So we just gotta be patient. Um, I don't see us just sweeping through all of this. That would be crazy at this point of the market. So we got to just, be patient with these up and down swings over here, this consolidation. I do think that we're going to get out of it. I do think that it's just in a strong accumulation range, and we should eventually get out of this range. And literally in 1 to 2 months, we can easily see prices above these levels. We already hit this level. We already swept through this level. So all of these levels, and we already hit this level. So all of these levels are now invalidated, meaning once we do start pushing higher, we should push through these. We should definitely push through this one. And then we should push through this one and then this one as well. So now all we have left once we start going higher is right here around the 7 cent range. And that's right near that 8 cent range, which we should probably cool down there, once we head towards those levels. But for now, price is still accumulating, it's still within this range. And we'll see how we end up reacting to this specific yellow zone. If we take a look at the monthly candle, we can literally, once again, just literally just sweep this previous monthly low from July. So we didn't sweep any lows or go over any highs in August. And now in September is when we're going to possibly sweep below some lows and possibly get a reaction from there. So we'll see how we look by the end of the next couple of weeks. Quarterly time frame, the quarterly candle is slightly bearish. Um, yeah, we could easily react to this level right here. And once again, that's inside of that yellow box. Once again, that yellow zone. So yeah, anywhere in this range is more than likely gonna, you know, give us a reaction on Velo. And that's anywhere between, I'll say just basically 1.0110 and 0.013. Yeah, anywhere within this range. So still above 1 cent, which is good. We do not